For as long as I can remember, I've questioned my worth as a person, not a scholar. It all started when I was 3 years old and I picked up my very first book. Letters became words, words formed sentences. I was 3 years old when I knew I was different from others. Fast forward 3 years and I'm at the top of my kindergarten class by miles. Fast forward 5 years and I'm graduating 5th grade with the Presidential Award for Educational Excellence. I knew I was different from the start. However, I had suffered because I was smart. While other girls in my class watched TV and gossiped about the cute boys in our class, I was sitting at my desk, engrossed in a book, studying multiplication facts because I wanted to be at the top of my class, and I've succeeded at that since kindergarten. But since 2nd grade, I've hid my struggles underneath my accomplishments, my perfect test scores, my perfect reading level, my perfect IQ, my perfect friends, my perfect life. But once I hit middle school, everything changed. I suddenly had this 50-pound weight of pressure on me to be like everybody else because what would happen if I was different? The book in my hands changed into a phone. The fictional stories I could lose myself into turned into me scrolling through Instagram, wondering why I didn't look the same as the girls behind the screen. I got guilty eating because I was sick and tired of seeing 3 digits by my feet. I stopped caring about school as much as I used to. I took the person I used to be and buried her 6 feet under, next to an unmarked grave to ensure that no one would see who I used to be. No one would see the other side of me. And every day, I just wish I could go back in time and give her the biggest hug and tell her that she's going to reach among the stars, and that everyone in her life loves her to the moon and back, and that being like others is the last thing you should be worried about. But that girl is no more, forgotten by many. One day, I looked in the mirror and saw a complete stranger. The girl I was looking at wasn't the same girl from even 3 months ago. Me, the person who should know me best, is suddenly ashamed of this new structure she's created around herself. The book-loving, nerdy girl behind my eyes has locked eyes with the girl who's trying her hardest to impress others, whose struggles went way beneath the surface, unnoticed by many, to strangers who passed her in the hallways. But did they even notice the girl who skimmed past them with her eyes locked to the floor? To her teachers, who never got a second thought to the girl sitting in the back of the room, silent and alone, because she wasn't lonely, she wasn't struggling, she was just being respectful. To her best friends, who stared at her in confusion as to why she acted as a completely different person in front of them. To my own parents, who have never seen their baby girl outside the 4 walls of our home. A suicidal teen, that's who I was, but don't worry, it wasn't bad. I never harmed myself, I never actually attempted to commit. Just every waking minute, the voice in the back of my head just kept screaming at me, I don't know how much more of this I can take. All because society made me believe that smart equals weird. I was at my tipping point, ready to dive off the edge of the cliff to what I thought would be a better alternative to my reality. But it only took one person to save me. At my first therapy session, my therapist said a phrase that saved me. She looked me in the eyes and she said, Gracie, I'm so proud of you because you've come so far. And it's because of her that I'm standing here today. But not only that, but my hands are still. I'm standing in front of all of you and my eyesight isn't blackening, threatening to give way. And that's an accomplishment I never thought I would ever achieve. But my therapist also made me realize one more thing. There's still so many people that need that voice too. So at the start, I'm going to tell all of you. I'm proud of you for getting out of bed this morning. Even if you didn't want to, you still decided to get up and come here today. And that's an accomplishment all on its own. You ate something this morning. And even if you didn't, life's too great to skip meals, and I encourage you to eat later today. We all have things in life that we regret, but that stops none of us here from giving up in hopes of starting over better. And even if you were a completely different person yesterday, that person still believed in you to wake up and live for at least one more day. And in case nobody has told you this today, this week, this month, this year, or ever, I'm so proud of you.